All right, welcome to another JNCIE-SP video. This morning I experimented around with the sound. This is the best sound I'm going to have for a while. I don't think it's too bad. I think it is possible to hear what I am saying. I realize it's not pleasant to hear what I'm saying aside from the content because the quality is still a bit poor. I have this Tascam recorder from when I did some music stuff 5-10 years ago, just still laying around my apartment. So it just ate through batteries really fast for a long time. I think it was working pretty well for me. I had it perked up like this, but that was before I realized I had this webcam that has a built-in microphone that I think is actually much better than this. And even if I could get this to work on good quality, so I ordered this cable here from Amazon that will provide a power, but for some reason, I don't know if it was the audio in the cable or something, I could not get this to record me without a lot of interference line noise. That was just awful, just a high whistling noise. So this is unfortunately the best sound quality I'm going to have for a while, but I think it is definitely good enough for these videos to be valid, unlike some of my earlier ones. All right, so let's move on with the JNCIE-SP. Last video we did SNMP, and we figured out how to do a full SNMP walk on there. It was actually much easier than I thought. All it required was a community string, and then you can set up extra features as needed. You can filter out which OIDs you want to allow to be pulled and which ones you want to not be permitted. If you're using SNMP version 3, you can use user accounts to force a person to authenticate with more than just a community string. Because community strings are just in plain text, they're not encrypted or anything, so it's definitely not a very secure way of authenticating an SNMP get or walk. We also downloaded a package onto Ubuntu and did a full SNMP walk on the device, which we're able to do since we're in the lab. As I've said many times before, you would not do that in production because you could oversaturate the link with traffic just pulling that much data through it. But ideally, in your production environment, you will have QoS implemented on your management network so that your management traffic will be unable to oversaturate links. But you know, as I've talked about many times before, the ideal environment is often not what is in place. So let's share the second screen. Okay, and then I will pull up my lab and pull up my notes. So this is going to be for the IE-SP, which I'm still planning to take, even though it is Coronavirus World B. I just think having expert level certification would be a undeniable boost to my career as a whole, because for me, it's not really about the job as much as it is about the career. I'll just be working the job that makes the most sense for my career, but what I'll be doing outside of the job is supplementing my career and make sure I've got the best career possible. I'm the kind of guy that kind of likes to clock in and clock out at the end of the day and not kind of let my job linger. Instead of that, I'll be working on self-enriching activities, some sort of exercise, further study into career building activities, that sort of thing, instead of just continuing to work. So I will be continuing that, even though it's coronavirus will be, and there are a lot of valid reasons not to fly halfway across the country, sit in a room full of people and take a test. But the reasons for doing that, I think, do outweigh the reasons against doing that. It's just gonna help my career a lot to have an expert level exam, keep me sharp with junipers, and overall be a better decision for me going forth. It's an investment in my future getting this exam. And it's only gonna cost me about $3,000. If I were to go to school, I would not have anything to show for me going to school, aside from the fact that I was in school for about 4 years. I don't have a bachelor's degree, so I mean 2 years if I get another associate's degree, but I already have one, so I don't see the need to get another one. And it would cost me a lot more than $3,000, and I wouldn't have anything to show for it for 4 years if I were lucky enough to pass it. So I'd rather do something that I can show off by the end of this year, and I don't pay more money than I have to lose. That to me is a much better deal. So okay, so we've got the Zoom going, we've got the lab going. So one thing that does happen is sometimes the IP and static route on the Ubuntu Docker guest goes away, so I will verify that that is still on there just by pinging one of the loopback addresses. Okay, so we're still good in that regard. So let's move on to AAA. So they do have a pre-built AAA server, but I think I'm just going to install something onto this Ubuntu Docker guest just so I don't have to change the lab topology around. So I'll do apt get update just in case there's anything different. It's generally good practice to keep that updated, and you can see there was 170 kilobytes of updates. Oh, there actually was 218 kilobytes of updates that I needed. So some security stuff, just some regular updates. So I would run this again. You see there is nothing to update. I did not fetch any data at all. So it is important to do that because there always is a little bit of updates available. So every day it's important to do that. So now I can do the apt cache search AAA. So, oops. What about tactics? So here's a TACX plus authentication daemon. Let's stick with the regular strategy and begin the video by using the CLI on the device to learn about the subject so that when I'm on the test and I need to learn about the subject, I'm comfortable with all of the tools I have at my disposal. So help apropos, AAA. And we're going to do pipe match help. Okay, so topic is the more verbose version, but it looks like we also have plenty of reference stuff. So let's look at this. Authorizing subscribers with JSRC. You can authorize AAA to use JSRC. I guess I'm not interested in that. I don't know what JSRC is. Yep, here's more about JSRC. I don't know what JSRC is. Here we go. This looks like what I need. Configuring an AAA profile, AAA, to configure an authentication, authorization, and accounting AAA profile. Number one, create the AAA profile. So, okay. Number two, specify a network element to use for authentication. Three, configure accounting settings for the AAA profile. 4 is optional. Specify which radius attributes the mobile next broadband gateway ignores or excludes from radius messages. So TACX, from what I understand, is Cisco proprietary. So we will be using radius for this Juniper. Although TACX is kind of a strange version of Cisco proprietary, because I know some devices who are not Cisco do use TACX. Optional, specify values for radius attributes that the broadband gateway includes in radius requests. All right, so let's do a, let's take a look into this menu they're pulling out here. Before we do that, let's just question mark through. Or no, let's go straight to that actually. Let's go to Edit Unified Edge. Aha, and now we've got AAA configuration. So let's look at some other menus. Edit System. And now let's see if we've got AAA here. Nope. Another place it might make sense for AAA to be would be Edit System Login. Nope, no triple. Yeah, and then set AAA. Nope, no AAA as well. So sure enough, the proper place for AAA is Edit Unified Edge, which is kind of a strange place for it. But let's keep working through it. So we're going to go to Edit AAA. All right, so let's do some more help. So help apropos, pipe match AAA, pipe match, help apropos AAA, pipe match begins with help. Oh, let's do a help here. Oh, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah. So help is actually, oh, never mind. No, I thought you could go under a hierarchy, hit help, and get help for that hierarchy. That would be really nice, but nope, that's not the way it works. It looks like it does limit your search results to this. So yeah. We can get help on Unified Edge AAA, which is what we're in now. So it looks like they want mobile profiles. So edit mobile profiles, and then we need a profile name. So let's call it Ubuntu Docker guest, because that's the name of the server that will be configuring that. So let's do another help reference. or a help topic rather. And then unified edge AAA. So next step is going to be to specify a network element to use. Oh, so I think we're going to need to go into edit radius. And okay, well, I guess it doesn't tell us how to do that. Let's do a help topic AAA or unified edge AAA. So specify a network element to use for authentication. See configuring authentication settings. Oh, okay. So it's going to be in authentication. Okay. So edit radius. Aha. So the network element used for authentication. So it's kind of a complicated way of saying which device are you going to reach out to in order to validate to get your radius. So login local in Cisco, you look on the local device. Here, a user account, you give it a password or you give it credentials or a public key, as I did. But now we're going to say, if you want to be authenticated, you're going to need to reach out to this device, and they're going to use software to authenticate you remotely instead of on this device itself. So we will need the IP address for the Ubuntu Docker guest. All right, so this is the IP address. Perfect, so let's see what the next step is. So the next step is going to be configure accounting settings for the AAA profile. Accounting, there it is. So let's go edit accounting. So we've got settings here. It looks like we've only got one setting, and that's to, let's set this up as the device to use for accounting as well as authentication. Go back to that help topic, AAA, or unified edge AAA. Okay, so number 4, we've got some optional settings. It looks like configuring accounting settings was not optional, but let's look at what the optional settings are. Specify which radius attributes for mobile next broadband gateway ignores or excludes from radius messages. I don't think we need to filter out any radius attributes, so we'll skip that optional option. Step 4 is also optional. Specify values for radius attributes that the broadband gateway includes in radius requests. So, okay, so I'm not sure which are included by default. Let's take a look at where these settings might lie. So it looks like these are going to be in the policy. So let's do edit policy, set. So yeah, so we can allow activation attributes. So set activation attributes. But these are all optional. So let me do one thing. I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to do a show. So referenced network element must be defined. I don't know what that means. I think it just means it must be reachable, but I know that. So let's do a commit check. Oh, so it was failed. So reference network element must be defined. So I don't know So let's do a help apropos network elements pipe match help topic. Oops, and I need quotes in order to do that, so I'll just do it match help. I'll get the help reference as well. Oops, and I did not get any result for network element. Let's get some help for unified edge. All right, so how about AAA? Now this is interesting because I did have help before. Let's try help reference. Okay, so now we can see all the configuration that is available. Let's do a pipe match network elements. Okay, so yeah, this network element has got to be a name of the remote device, and then the IP goes somewhere else. Aha, so I think this mobile options. Oops, nope, that's not going to be it. That's just for trace options, which would be good to enable. But aha, so gateways configuration right there. So edit gateways, set. So I don't know what a TDF is. Let's do help apropos TDF. There you go. Or maybe help topic TDF. No. So help apropos is just the same as doing a set question mark, it looks like. But it tells you it recursively, so it tells you everything you can do afterwards, which is kind of nice. But I don't think TDF is what I need. It's definitely got to be edit AAA. I hear my options are quite a bit limited. Okay, so the network element is referenced, but it's not defined, but there's no clue as to how to define a network element. Here we go. So radius options. So let's go edit radius options. Take a look at what we got. Nope. Edit radius server. So I would think that it would need to be a radius client. But this command, this is where I set up a network element. It looks like I just set up the address for what I want to operate as a radius server. So I think it was .2 actually. Don't remember, I'll look it up. Yep, there's .2. So this is my address to my radius server. So hopefully those messages will now go away, and they do. I have a missing mandatory statement though, and that's I need authentication for my radius server. Let's go back into that unified edge AAA profiles, Ubuntu Docker guest, and do a show command there. Oops, so nope, the network element still is not defined. I thought it went away, but it looks like it did not. Probably because I did not have a password set up. Okay, so I've got all sorts of other options on here. Secret. I can use a specific source address to communicate with the server. I think I'm going to do that because by default it will just use the egress interface, but I want it to use the loopback address instead. So I will be setting that up. Also be doing a secret clouds, and then the source address is going to be the loopback here. But I don't think I need anything else. I guess a timeout period might be nice so it just doesn't sit forever. So I'll do a timeout for 5 seconds in case the default is longer than that, because 5 seconds seems long enough. So yeah. Okay, so let's do a commit check. Oops, so the reference network element is still not defined. But I'm not sure what this unified edge is. I don't think it relates to radius specifically in AAA. I think it just relates to unified edge, but I don't know what unified edge is. I do know what a radius server is though, and in my experience, you do have AAA settings set up, but the most important thing is reaching out to that server, because AAA is mostly just a communication with a server and then filtering certain things on the local device. But I haven't gone to Google yet. This hasn't committed yet because this isn't working, but let's do delete unified edge and see if just this on its own will commit. And it will, so we'll commit that. And we'll see if I can offload authentication onto this Ubuntu Docker guest. So let's search for radius. So we've got all sorts of things. I'm not sure what they'll be using. Here we go. So let's go with free radius. Be nice to get a Python one, but that's just for creating and decoding custom radius packets. Oh, there's a radius client library, but this one looks like the best. Oh, it's going to be apt-get. Perfect. All right, so I've got that installed. I've got to figure out how to use it. So I think it was free radius. Okay. All right, so this is how you use it. So it looks like there's configuration files here. So let's find this file. Okay. All right, so let's go to the home directory and make some configuration file, make a folder for the configuration files. So there's no files in there yet, but we're definitely going to need to make some of those files. I don't know how to do that. So it looks like here's the usage. These are, yeah, so let's do a Google search for free radius, since hopefully there's the tutorial or something. Okay, let's add a client. So this is going to be in the, well, let's go back. I think I jumped ahead a bit too far. So, yep, I installed it. That all went fine. Oops, it looks like there is actually going to be a file for that configuration. Nope, I don't see one pre-existing. Okay, so let's start. It looks like it's meant to work outside the, inside the box, or directly outside of the box. As soon as you open it up, it's meant to work. In my case, it looks like it's not working. Okay, so rad test is working. Okay, so I need to modify this file with my password. But it says I need to have this working first, which is not working for me. So let's go with this. My password is going to be clouds. Oops. Well, that's interesting because this command was found. Oh. Oh, rad test was found. But that was not found. Let's see what happens if I just put this in. Okay, so sending access request. There we go. So let's see if this works. If I fill in the other variables, so 172.16.0.1, I think, so TACX is port 69, I think, or no, what is it? I don't remember, but let's see what port radius is. I don't know. Okay, so port is 1812. I think it's like 430. Oh, 49, of course. Okay, I knew there was like a 4 and a 9 in it. It doesn't matter though. I can always just look it up. But it's going to be, what was it, 1813 for radius? I don't remember. 1812. I was close. I was one off. Okay, so now I need a password, which I did set up here. Yep, I believe it was clouds. I don't remember that too, but my default password has been clouds so far. So, oops, user password. So username. Oh, okay. So it's going to be. It's not going to be. Let's see here. So. Well, I think this username, user password is going to be a radius user. So I've got to set one up custom. It's not going to work because I don't have a user set up here. I'll need to read the documentation and figure out how to do that. I'm kind of confused that it is going to this address and not the address that I had specified. But let's keep reading the help doc. Okay, so this is what I need to do. So we've got to edit the clients.conf file. So let's do cd/find-name clients.conf. Aha, so we do have this here. So got everything we could possibly need, but all we need to do is change the clients.conf. .conf. Okay, so now we'll just need client new. So, oh, it's quite a bit bigger than I thought. Okay, so it starts here. Find radius clients. Yeah, so here's basically what I'm going to need to do. So yeah, let's do that. Use nano. Oh, and I'm almost out of time. This is the pre-work video, so I'm going to need to go to work soon. So just right under here, I will make a new entry. Client 0.1/32. Oh, I guess I could, well, let's just do it this way. Secret equals oops. This almost looks like this doesn't look right. Okay, so it is defining clients. I was about to say, it almost looks like we're defining servers. All right, so I'm not sure how to do this. Oh, well, actually, no, I think I know how to do this. So let's do client, and then we'll say client new, just as I have it here. And then we'll do IPADDR equals 172.16.0.1. And then we'll do secret equals, oops, testing 1, 2, 3, just as they have it here. And then that will be our user. So let's go back to that testing command. And then it's going to be new testing 1, 2, 3. So maybe this will work, hopefully. No response still, so that did not work. Let's try free radius -x. Okay, so yeah. So it looks like I'm using an old version or whatever, where my, okay, so let's try to log in to R1 now. So we're gonna do exits, log out. There we go. And now we're going to log in with new testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, didn't work. So I thought it would be able to go out to the remote server now and pull in that username that was set up on there, but it was not able to. So I think I'm going to cut the video here. Just got 5 minutes. That's all I need. So yeah, I've got to figure out how to get a AAA server to work. I do have a custom AAA image that was included with GNS that I can look into, but I'll have to look at that in the next video during lunch. So see you then.